Father Becker, Reverend Fathers, honored guests, and my brothers. The fall of my junior year in high school brought about many changes in my life. One of these changes was that my Catholic high school welcomed a new chaplain. His name is Father Bob Rogenbuck, and he came to my school to set it on fire. His quick wit and laid-back attitude rapidly won over my classmates and myself. Under his guidance, he helped my group of friends set up 2 new groups at the high school. The first was a pro-life group called the St. Gerard Society, who's the patron of motherhood. And the second was a group called Magnus Sodalitas, or the Great Society. This group was aimed at gaining a deeper understanding of the Catholic faith. We would meet to talk about the different aspects of the faith, such as the perpetual virginity of Mary or the concept of transubstantiation. This highlights his incredible knowledge, for Father Bob would always be the one teaching us, and he was always able to explain difficult concepts in a way that a high schooler, especially someone like myself, was able to understand. Originally a Dominican before becoming a diocesan priest, he was able to learn and study at a more rigorous setting than most people. It wasn't until after my second year in college that I learned about Father Bob's intense love of the poor. In the summer of 2009, his parish was forced to close, and he was moved to another parish in the area. He had 2 weeks in between assignments, and he decided that he wanted to go back to India for that time. He brought along 8 college students with him to experience working with the missionaries of charity and to work with the poorest of the poor. This was his 4th trip to India at that time. He has gone at least once more since then. He told me while we were there that one day he would love to buy a ticket to India and never return. Soon after that trip, I heard of a service project he was putting together to work with the poor. But this time, the poor weren't halfway around the world. They were right here in our backyard, in the urban environment. The papacy of Blessed John Paul II was critical in the cultivation of his call to priesthood, and he has lived his life inspired by his words and actions. He especially takes to heart the words of Blessed John Paul II when he says, "A great new task now beckons, the evangelization of the cities." Father Bob also sees this mission. This is why he created the Catholic Urban Project. He has had this idea and mission since he was in seminary, and it wasn't until the summer of 2010 that he was first able to make his mission a reality. In the summer of 2011, I participated in the Catholic Urban Project, and it was there that my love for the poor of the inner cities was kindled. Every step of the way, Father Bob has taught me something important about myself and about the world. In high school, he taught me that joy and suffering go hand in hand. He's always cracking jokes and laughing. At the same time, he shaves his head every day in a perpetual penance. In India, he taught me that true joy comes from doing what we were created to do, serve each other and God. I have never seen more joy in suffering than I did in Calcutta. During the Catholic Urban Project, he taught me that this same kind of joy and suffering can be seen not just in a once-in-a-lifetime trip to India, but in our own communities and cities. He has taught me the cost of living a life of true joy and suffering by his example, one that I continue to try and emulate daily. I have been very fortunate and have had many priests that I could have chosen to be my priest hero. Father Bob is my priest hero because through him I learned what an authentic life of a Catholic looks like and what the life of a Catholic priest looks like. Because of Father Bob, I learned that I have a desire for working with the inner city poor and for working with students. Praise be Jesus Christ.
Now and